All right, welcome guys to the very first episode of the Go Talk podcast by yours truly, Owusu. And it's been a great, back and forth, myself trying to get this started. But today I said, hey, I might as well start. We just have, a short period as human beings on this earth. I might as well start this podcast today. And somebody, would say, why would I want to talk about goats? And the goat is really greatest of all time. Now, I've been looking out for information about people who have done great things in this world, from scientists to people in the sports to art and craft. Anybody who has done anything great, that's my guy. That's my person, right? And for that, I said that, hey, if there's something I really love to, research about, I'm very interested in, getting info about, I might as well share this info to anybody that's interested in actually getting info in that topic, right? So the GOAT podcast is really going to be about talking about great people who actually are going to shift, the normal status quo to the next level, right? People are trying to go above and beyond the norms of society. People who are really trying to change their stories from their background to, showing people that, hey, it doesn't matter where you come from, you can really do this. So the podcast is really going to be talking about great people. I'm sure as we go along with time, we'll definitely have some, people coming in. I'm very limited in tools and, should I say, machinery or stuff that make the podcast look very fancy. But I might as well start. I really want to just start this podcast, and it doesn't matter if I have the right lighting, the right microphones, the right, setup. I really don't care, right? I just want to get this out of the way. And I'm sure in time, as we keep going, we'll definitely pick up from there. We'll definitely learn, new things, develop new skills, get better. Just like anything. When you start, you don't expect to be very, very good at this. But I'm willing to go through the bad moments of looking like a fool, looking like I don't know what I'm talking about, and really build an audience and serve people, with the GOAT conversation, right? So yeah, if you think the GOAT is Messi, hey, I'm going to talk about Messi. If you think the GOAT is Ronaldo, I'm definitely going to talk about Ronaldo. Some people think Jordan is the greatest of all time, regardless, right? Some people also think that, Kwame Nkrumah, who is, the man who actually brought independence to Ghana, my homeland, is the greatest of all time. The GOAT conversation goes on and on and on. There's no limit to who is the GOAT. There are lots of people that you might know or might not know that are GOAT people, right? But some of them have the highlight on them, they have the spotlight on them. Some don't. Some people are GOATs in their own regard, in terms of, forgive me, in terms of, their own field. We are teachers who actually are GOATs, right? The greatest of all time teachers who really want to, impact kids. Why is this fly all around me? I'm just trying to make the best out of it, right? So we're going to have all kinds of people, coming in, and I'm just going to, really delve into the topic of the GOAT conversation. So I think this podcast will definitely be on Spotify, and try and put on all other platforms that, really give up the space for podcasts. And I'll try as much as possible to give at least one episode every other day. It would really be something I have to invest a lot of time into, and I think it's something that I find interesting doing. So it won't be such a tough thing to really research about. I can find info around people who are great, and I would really enjoy doing it. I'll definitely need your feedback on what it is that I offer here, the kind of conversations we have, some of the suggestions you want to put in. I'm always open to that, because we are looking to really level up and really serve people with great knowledge and push it. And I think it will also be centered around African people who also are GOATs, because where we see a lot of people being celebrated is in the West, right? We have a lot of people in the West who are heroes, who are properly recognized as heroes. But in Africa, we see a lot of people doing great, but are rarely or barely recognized in that regard. And I think it's not really too good. We can put a spotlight on anybody, regardless of where you are, regardless of your demographic. Being a GOAT is really something that is for just that small group of people who are willing to just go beyond and above the norms of society. So the good conversation is going to be great. Like I said, my name is Owusu. I've been into marketing and business since I was in high school. Started with a clothing brand, Cosnage Clothing, moved on to a food business called Big Sam's Kitchen, worked as an independent marketer and partner to a network marketing company, and we moved on from there. I'm still with them, obviously. I'm still building my business in the marketing space, and I'm a pharmacist. Finished pharmacy school, I think in 2017. Became licensed in 2018. But with all the science background and everything, there's always been that seed of entrepreneurship in me, and that seed of really becoming the GOAT or being great. So I spend hours and I spend most of my nights watching documentaries about Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones. I mean, talk of it. Kwame Nkrumah. Anybody that I think has really done something that the limited few can do or the masses find it difficult to do, I really like to talk about them. I really like to find information about them. So my story really, binds with it, because on my way of finding info for you in terms of talking about the GOATs, it's also good for myself because I'm also learning as I move along. But I wouldn't just want to learn and keep the knowledge to myself. I would want to also give that to you. So whilst I'm learning, trying to also be my own version of my GOATs and in my own industry, hopefully you in your own industry can also pick up something from these conversations and you become great in the industry that you find yourself in. So this is going to be a very fantastic journey, and I'm looking forward to many episodes in Ghana, around the world, anywhere that I can find the GOATs. We'll find them, talk about them, break them down, take the lessons and the value points and some of even the shortcomings of these GOATs, some of the things we can learn from them and how we can actually become better people as we go along. So this is going to be a fantastic thing. My mantra, or should I say the tagline for this podcast, is talk that talk. So when we talk about the GOAT podcast, the GOAT Talk podcast is we talking that talk, right? We're talking that talk. We're talking the talk that most people don't talk about, the limited conversation around what it takes to be a GOAT. We're going to talk about it, right? So once again, my name is Owusu, and hope you guys join me in my journey. And if you're new to this podcast, hey, welcome to the party. It's good to join early, so we find ourselves going through the journey together to become the global podcast that serves the world. So this is Owusu to you. Thank you, and remember, we're talking that talk on this podcast. Peace.